Alright guys, hey, it's Aaron here with the Duke. Hey, today we're going to be talking, fantasy football 2020. Specifically, subject today is going to be Kenyan Drake of the Arizona Cardinals. Hey, before we get started, hit that like, subscribe button. We'll be bringing a lot of material to you on specific players this season. But hey, let's dive into it. We don't want to waste much time. Alright, Kenyan Drake. Alright, we have high expectations for Kenyan Drake this year. Alright, his receptions with Kyler Murray, they'll probably end up staying a little lower than people expect. He should be good in a half PPR year, but I kind of see him around that 20 receptions or 50 receptions by the end of the season. I don't think he'll get up there with Christian McCaffrey or Austin Eckler and have the 80 to 100. I think they really want to use him as a running back, and they will. They've got DeAndre Hopkins in this season, which they brought in, which should actually help Kenyan Drake. There's going to be a lot of focus on keeping those receivers on lockdown. It should open the field and be able to spread it out a lot for the run. So I don't see them using him too much as a receiver, as much as people might be thinking. The good thing is that Arizona Cardinals, they don't really use tight ends too much. So any of those short little dump passes on drags or anything that would go out to a tight end, Kenyan Drake might be able to pick up this season. So we see him around those 50 receptions, possibly pushing to 60. But really, I think we're going to be surprised at how much he actually rushes. We see him well over, possibility of 200 carries this season. He should range, as long as healthy and he can play. He should hit over 1,000 yards rushing. And I actually think that that's where most of his touchdowns are going to come, is from rushing on the field. He should be able to score probably, as long as he stays healthy and this offense moves the ball, he should be able to score over 10 touchdowns this season as well. So we really like where he's going right now. He's about a mid-second round pick. Hey, if you can get that first round pick, a really good running back or receiver, this is definitely somebody you want to target on that second half coming into the second round. We don't see him going too much in the first round, so he should be able to be there for you. And, our expectation this season is a lot like Dalvin Cook last year with Minnesota. He finished running back number 6, ESPN, half PPR. And, he should finish probably in the top 8. If not, if he puts up numbers, he could be, number 5 running back this season. And, hey, finding that in the second round, that's a pretty good deal depending on who you get in that first round. That could really stack up really well for you in your fantasy league this year. So, the touchdowns in the red zone, we like it with Arizona. He should actually see quite a bit of touchdowns as long as he's on the field. Arizona's going to use a lot of 4 wide with Kenyan Drake in the backfield once they get down to the red zone. And really that just allows the receivers to go into the deep and into the corners of the end zone, and then it should leave the middle of the field pretty open for Kenyan Drake to rush or grab some receiving touchdowns up the middle once they get into those close yardage lines. He's definitely a big boom player that we like. Hey, we talk about that on the show, boom and save players. Really when we're drafting, this is the type of player we like, where he can put up, that average 6 to 10 points a game every single week, but he has the potential to put up 20, 30 points, and he can give us that extra leg from week to week on that boom ability. So, there's a lot of players out there that only put up like 1 or 2 points, and then they'll go for 30. And as long as you have that, that's fine, but we need safe players as well on our roster. So we're definitely targeting Kenyan Drake. He falls under that safe. He should get quite a few carries this season and touches, but he also has that boom, which is what we like. So we will be targeting him. And as long as he's healthy, we don't see Chase Edmonds taking over the backfield, but I think people that should be ready for Chase Edmonds to still get carries, all right? Kind of a 70-30 split, maybe 60-40. He should come in and probably see his 5 to 8 carries a game. So, don't be upset by it. This is Kenyan Drake's backfield, but this is also going to be Kenyan Drake's first season as the lead role, which we haven't seen too much. So just be aware of it. If you need to pick up Chase Edmonds in the second half, just to, put that handcuff on. We don't recommend handcuffs usually, but this is a type of position where Chase Edmonds could see some points too as well, and he might be a good flex position with Kenyan Drake on week-to-week basis, or maybe he'll be good trade bait down the road. So that might be a good idea to pick up that handcuff. But we really like what we see from Kenyan Drake coming into this year. The Arizona Cardinals, second year, under Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray. Now they bring in DeAndre Hopkins. They still have Larry Fitzgerald to worry about, Christian Kirk, hopefully. So there's a lot of good things going on in this offense, especially for a second year. So this is definitely an offense that we're targeting some people on. Everything should go up from last season, and there was quite a few players on that team that had a pretty good number. All right, guys. Hey, that's what we got on Kenyan Drake this season. Go out, draft him where he's going. I don't think anything is really too high. I'd avoid him in the first round unless you're at the end of the first coming into the second and you're in one of those positions at the end of a snake draft. But hey, definitely go after Kenyan Drake. He should put up numbers and he should definitely help you in your league this season. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.